Hey guys, Mike from my private library again. Um, my third book review. Should be all caught up now. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This is her first novel chronologically. I think it's came out in 2009-ish or maybe 2006. Older. But I guess I've read all of her books chronologically backwards. I started with Gone Girl over the summer. A few weeks ago was Dark Places, and now finally I read Sharp Objects. Each of them getting progressively weirder and darker. Honestly, I think out of all three books, Gone Girl, even though it's the most celebrated, and the movie just came out. Dark Places also had a movie come out, but no one really paid attention to it. But yeah, honestly, I think at this point, from having read all three of her books, that Gone Girl is the most tame, the most normal, the least weird, messed up one that she's written. So if you have read Gone Girl, that should give you an indication of what these other books are like. But yeah, basic synopsis is you have a woman here. Her name is Camille. She's a journalist, a reporter in Chicago, and she's just come out of a short stay in a mental institution facility, hospital, and the paper that she's working at gets word that there's been a disappearance in her hometown in Missouri. If you've read Gillian Flynn stuff, you know Missouri is her territory, kind of like how Stephen King has staked his claim on Maine, so has she with Missouri. So she gets word that there's a disappearance in her hometown and that the year before there was actually a murder. Both preteen girls, and by the time she shows up to her hometown, it turns out that the missing girl has also been murdered. So now she's trying to get the story, feeling like an outsider in her own hometown, and forced to stay with her family, who is stereotypically creepy Midwestern people. The mom's a bit of a neurotic hypochondriac, and her half-sister or stepsister is typical weird, creepy teenage girl who is way too smart and knowledgeable for her own good, which is always a bad thing for anybody who knows horror. So yeah, her trying to figure out what's going on with these murders and try to control herself because, all of her trouble in the mental institutions and stuff like that, not exactly helped by the disappearance and death of these two preteen girls who she feels some connection with. But yeah, if you've read anything by Gillian Flynn, it's that same kind of dark tone that kind of makes you say, wow, this is just completely messed up, screwed up. Who the hell writes this? But I love it. Honestly, it's so good. It really is. It's nice and weird. It's dark in every sense of the word. It starts dark. It ends kind of dark. I mean, Gone Girl had kind of a downer ending. Dark Places had an okay, sort of uplifting ending. This one's a little of both. But it's a very strong book. If seeing as this is her first one, I mean, I haven't read. These are all three of her books, and I haven't been disappointed by any of them. So, yeah, dark, heavy, weird, but very good, and also, fortunately, very short. I knocked this out in about 3 days, 2-3 days. Let's see, barely, almost 250 pages exactly. So really quick, very engaging. It grabs you right from the get-go, and there's a couple mysteries, a couple things you have to figure out about Camille that she doesn't say outright, but you kind of pick up on clues throughout. And definitely not your run-of-the-mill weird mystery. So yeah, if you've read anything else by Gillian Flynn, you're going to like this. It's all in the same vein as her other stuff. And if you haven't, it's a good introduction to her style of writing, and if you like it enough, it's definitely worth picking up Dark Places and Gone Girl if you haven't already read them. So now we just need to see if this one's going to be made into a movie too, which will probably be rated R. So yeah, Like, subscribe, comment. Go check out the blog, myprivatelibrary.tumblr.com, and stay tuned for more reviews.